And look at that. That is crazy. What's up, party people, and welcome back to my channel. So I am super excited for today because today is basically a compilation of my favorite makeup tips and tricks, like ones that I do on a regular basis. In my opinion, these all target very common problems that people have when it comes to makeup. So it'll just make everything so much easier for you. I'm very confident that everyone can benefit in some way from each one of these tips. Like, these are tried and true for me. Like, I've thoroughly tested them, and I could actually do multiple of these. Like, this is just part one because I've got a pretty long list. So if you guys want to see more of these, then give the video a thumbs up and also comment below, like, I want to see more, something like that. So all I've got on right now is some skincare products. I've done some prep. I've got an eye primer and then also a bronzer in the crease and a little bit of clear brow gel in my brows. But none of these are related to the tips that I'm doing today, so it's just something I want to come prepared for. So let's start with a mind-blowing mascara tip. So this mascara tip kind of targets a few different people, a few different problems that people have. Number one, if you're someone that has a hard time holding a mascara curl, if your lashes fall flat, if you're someone that has a hard time with mascaras flaking, transferring, smudging, smearing, stuff like that, it may help with mascaras that they have longevity issues. And that is to curl your lashes with a lash curler after you've applied mascara, but powdering the lash curler first. I'm someone that over the years, I've always kind of enjoyed going into a lash curler, kind of recurling my lashes after I've applied mascara and it's dried, but it's not something that I've really wanted to showcase or talk about a whole lot because there are people that have very fragile lashes, and you hear about lash curlers pulling the lashes out, and especially if you have mascara on where it's kind of tacky, your lashes will get stuck to the lash curler. But a tip that I heard from, I think what's her name? She used to go by Rose and Ben. I think it's Rose Syard, I don't know, but she is an absolutely amazing TikTok creator. Like, she is someone that watching her is like, it's like reading a makeup artist's book. She is a wealth of knowledge and she shares anything and everything. Like, she does not gatekeep any kind of secret. So this tip is from her. She talked about, like, after your mascara's had time to dry, powder your lash curler with a loose face powder, like a setting powder or something, and then curl your lashes, and you get that va-va-voom and that recurling, like that re-intensification of the curl, but your lashes don't get stuck, which I think is awesome. Not only that, I also feel like it helps improve the longevity of the mascara. Like I said, there's been mascaras that, you know, some days they flake on me, some days they don't, and whenever I do this, I feel like pretty much across the board, I don't get any wear issues. Like, it's literally like setting your mascara in place. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and curl my lashes and apply my mascara and give it time to fully dry. You don't want to do this right after it's wet because it'll just pick up all the product and you'll have transfer everywhere. So let it completely dry. Kind of do this towards the end of your routine. I usually do it at the very last step of my routine. Actually, I have another tip that I could squeeze in here, so let's do that. So this next tip is also one that I'm pretty sure I heard from Rose, and that is to just apply a loose powder to your eyelashes, because our eyelashes have oils and stuff. So if you're someone that you get transfer up here, or you get any kind of wear issues, you know, smearing, flaking, smudging, stuff like that, where you just can't keep mascara on, this kind of like dries out your eyelashes a little bit to where it just grips onto mascara better. It really does make a difference. I'm just going to take it on a big fluffy brush like this and just kind of dust over my lashes. It's as simple as that. Doesn't take a lot of extra time or anything, just a very quick dusting and you've got better wear of your mascara. I also feel like powdering the lashes before mascara, it kind of gives mascara something to grip to, so it's almost like priming the lashes. Like, it's almost like you get a faster effect by doing that. Yeah, mascara's on, we're gonna let it dry. We'll come back later and do the lash color hack. So moving on to a face hack. So this tip has to do with any kind of light coverage foundation product, whether it be a skin tint, a tinted moisturizer, a watery consistency, or even like a more glowy, dewy finish foundation. And that is to apply a thin first layer, let it dry, and then go into a second layer. And I'm telling you, you will get way better coverage. Because here's the thing, this whole skin tint, light coverage, tinted moisturizer, foundation trend, it ain't for all of us. Not all of us are confident about our skin. Not all of us are blemish free. So if you're someone like me that, like, you see the appeal in lighter coverage products like that, but you've also got quite a bit to cover up, then you will definitely enjoy this tip. Because what I see happen whenever that first layer is wet and you try to build it up, it's like the layers just kind of stick together and they don't really, like, sometimes you don't get anything more. There's a lot of foundations that I've tried to build whenever they're wet, and it's just like the layers just kind of mesh into each other. Like, they just kind of unify, and it looks cakey, or it looks too heavy on the skin, or just it looks like very tacky and sticky. So by letting that first layer dry first, I feel like it kind of solidifies to form like a wall and kind of acts like shellac in terms of painting. Like it builds up so much better. So I feel like one of the best foundations I could use to show you guys how this works in real time is this L'Oreal True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum Foundation. And yes, I bought a pump on Amazon. It usually comes in medicine dropper. On this side, I'm gonna apply it the way that I feel like most people layer their foundations. Like they just go straight in from one layer to the other. What I like to do is go ahead and lay it down and then go into my tool. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this, what is this, BK Beauty 101 brush. I feel like this is going viral right now. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up some product on the back of my hand and just kind of prime the brush a little bit and just blend this out. So there's what it looks like while it's wet. So I'm gonna go ahead and go straight into a second layer. Yeah, there's what 2 layers looks like, doing it the traditional way and not letting that first layer dry. So I don't know if you guys can see it on camera, but in real life, I can still see quite a bit of my blemishes peeking through. Like I would say this is a more medium coverage. So let's do the hack. So on this side, I'm gonna do the exact same thing and go ahead and lay the product down first. While we're here, another little tip I could share with you guys, we'll just throw this in for free, is to apply your foundation, like go ahead and lay it down with your finger and sit there for like 1 or 2 minutes. Just let it dry. You'll get better coverage that way too. But we gotta control the experiment, so I'm not doing that today. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend it out with that same brush. Keep in mind, you can do this with a sponge too. Like it doesn't have to be a brush. There is the first layer. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you a little time just so you can see how long I'm gonna sit here for. So it is 3:15 right now. There's no real set time for this. I just kind of eyeball it. Like whenever it starts looking more dried down and less wet and tacky, that's when I do it. Alrighty, so I went ahead and filled in my brows off camera with the brow powder, so that's why I look a tad bit different, but it's now 3:23, so it's been 8 minutes. But as you can see, there's not as much glow, so that's how I know that it's dried down a good amount. Just to show you guys I'm not using a more full coverage foundation or something else, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I am using the product right here. I have to mix in a little bit of the white because I can't find a perfect match in this foundation. This is just something I have to do to make it work for me. So there's that. But yeah, I did use this foundation. You saw it. So same brush. I'm gonna go in and pick some up. I don't lay it down for the second layer, but I'm gonna go ahead and start back here where I have the most blemishes and stuff to cover up and just blend it out. Alrighty, so there is that thin second layer. So I don't know if you guys can see it on camera. I can definitely tell a difference in person. I got way better coverage. Like this is a lot closer to full coverage than before. So yeah, there's what it looks like by letting the first layer dry. And then here's what it looks like by not doing it. So obviously there's going to be different amounts to cover up on each side. Like you don't have the exact same symmetrical blemishes on both sides. I mean, some I kind of do, but I can 100% tell you that this is something that works across the board with every foundation, every tint and moisturizer, skin tint, serum foundation. So I don't have a bronzer or concealer tip to show you, so I'm just gonna go ahead and apply some bronzer and concealer off camera. Actually, another one that's free is let your concealer dry for a couple minutes too. Like this is something I feel like a lot of people know by now, but yeah, apply your concealer and sit there for maybe, I don't know, a minute or less. And once again, better coverage. So going back to that first mascara tip, I feel like they have had ample time to dry. They're not tacky at all now. So yeah, getting some more use out of our face powder. Go into any loose setting powder. Just kind of coat the lash curler on the top and bottom, on the inside, the outside, just everywhere. Definitely coat this little sponge in here where your lashes sit. So yeah, I'm just gonna go in and clamp maybe, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I don't know, 5 to 10 times. No stick whatsoever, and look at this. This side, what is this? The curl is 100% set in place. They are pushed back. My eyes look more open. I'm gonna go ahead and reapply some powder to the lash curler for this other side because I find that, you know, by the time I go into this side, I don't really have a lot of powder left over for my other side, and it can get a little sticky still. So I'm gonna go in, do the exact same thing. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just kind of do it however much you find you like, but you can see like it just completely pulls off. Like my lashes aren't stuck whatsoever. And look at that. That is crazy. Next up is a blush tip. So I don't know if a lot of you guys can relate to this, but I feel like I am very heavy-handed with blush. And I don't mean to, it's just something that happens along the way because I'm heavy-handed. I just kind of follow my cheek, and it just, like you can see, it just naturally covers a very large region up here. I feel like it just consumes my face and makes my face look more pudgy, more chubby. So instead of using something like these that are, you know, these are named blush brushes. Like these are more notoriously used for things like blush. You know, they're kind of bigger and more meaty. So my tip is to use a smaller, more taper brush, something like these. Like these are traditionally used for, you know, things like under eye setting powder, highlighter, contour, you know, things where you want the application to be more precise and targeted. I don't even have to think about it. Like I just kind of follow my cheekbone, like pretty much like where I apply highlighter, and it just naturally puts it where it should be. It keeps the application high and tight. It keeps it more uplifted. It keeps it less like all over your cheek region and more where it actually should be. So I'm gonna show you guys today with a cream blush. This is the Ulta Beauty Blush Beam in the shade Flamingo Flock. And it doesn't matter what you're using. It doesn't matter if it's a cream blush, liquid blush, powder blush. These work with every kind of texture. So today I'm gonna show you guys with the Real Techniques Multitask Cheek Brush. So I'm just gonna get some on here. I'll just kinda take off the excess on the back of my hand first. Yeah, I'm just gonna stick this right on my cheekbone and just follow it all the way down. I mean, yeah, I'm still a little heavy-handed and I'll have to go in and kinda bounce around right there because of course that happens when I'm filming. Any other day I don't have that problem now, but I feel like whenever I'm filming and I'm trying to showcase something, it just, everything goes wonky. On this side, I'm just going to use whatever's left over on the back of my hand. I have to get some more, but I'm just going to, yeah, stipple it and bounce it right there on my cheek. And look at that. This is what I want it to look like. Okay, this next one is if you have a hard time with wing liner. It is so hard to get a symmetrical wing. You got one going out here, one going up here. Like they're not even sisters. They're not even cousins. They're like, they're step cousins like 3 times removed. I have found the easiest way to apply wing liner is after your mascara is on. Because when you have your mascara on, your guide is not your lower lash line. It's not your outer corner. It's not this invisible guide that you have to try to envision as you're applying it. Like, your guide is your lashes, which is what it should be. So put your mascara on. Honestly, I do this after everything is done. So you can go into a pen liner, you can use your eyeshadow. It doesn't matter what you're using for liner, but just go in and just flick it, okay? I like to do a little tiny flick. I will bring it in a little bit. Like you can bring it in as much as you want. Like you can do your entire eyeliner routine now, but just doing it after your mascara's on and it's dried, make sure it's dried. It looks so much better. Yeah, I'll just kind of stick it in that little outer tear duct and just very lightly flick it out. And listen, my mirror is a foot away. I'm someone that whenever I do wing liner, I am right on top of my mirror. Like I'm getting close, like I'm having to do this. I'm being very careful and cautious and I still can't get it right. And also, you can't even really see mistakes. So yeah, have fun looking like a hot dime. Yeah, that is it for my favorite tips and tricks. I hope you guys enjoyed it. In the comments below, I wanna know what are some tips that you're gonna be taking into your routine? Like what are some that you feel like are gonna be most beneficial to you? If you like videos like this and if you want to see more like it, because like I said, my list of tips is very long, so we can do a lot of these, then make sure you give this video a big old thumbs up. Here's a couple more videos that you have to check out if you like tips, tricks, hacks, different cool little techniques. Like these are 2 of my favorite techniques of all time. Like they are game changing. They're so amazing that they have their own videos. So make sure you check these out if you like videos like this. Subscribe if you're not already and turn the notification bell on to always see my stuff. And I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah.